What's up guys, welcome back to another Ableton Live Remake Breakdown. This is Aldy. In today's video, I'm going to break down my last remake of the Chainsmokers, Sick Boy. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Here we go.
For this remake, I only have 48 tracks and one reverb send. So this is quite simple, and basically it's just drums, live drums, and layered with the couple of samples of kicks and snares. And also we have couple of strings, and obviously we have the pianos running all through the songs. So speaking about the pianos, let's start from the intro. What I have here is the bounce track for my pianos group, for my keys group. I bounce this and I put it in the intro and I reverse. This is what actually sounds from the original. You can hear sounds like this. The intro is playing the same keys with the outro. So I took the outro part and I put it in the front and I reverse it. That's the original sounds like. Moving on, for the first verse, I have these pianos playing, and if you're familiar with the sound, it's exactly the sound of an upright piano. This is, it has the sounds of the noise, the woods parts, and the sustain pedals. You can hear all those sounds in the records. For this remake, I use a Contact library. This is a default library from Contact Factory library. And I just tweak a little bit on the reverb and I add a cabinet just to make it sound more vintage. So it sounds like this. Yep, and that's the upright piano, and I layer it with a mini grand. I always use this effect, this VST instrument, couple of my remakes. So this one is pretty simple, and I use the soft preset, and I leave it the rest settings as a default. So I just layer it with these couple of mini grand just to add the bottom low sounds. It sounds so beautiful. I got this mini grand from my M Audio interface. This is a bonus. If you bought M Audio interface, you will get this mini grand VST instrument. This is the media I used. Okay, and moving on to the next part. This one. idea is this track aiming for a dramatic sounds. So they add a lot of reverbs and micings here and there. Also for the drums, they layer it with these samples to get a huge sounds. So in this track, I also use reverb. One reverb on the group, and I also send it to the Valhalla room for the send reverb send. Okay, and as you can see here on the group track, I have the OTT for the multi-band compression. This OTT VST is free. You can download from Xfer sites, totally free, both available for Windows and Mac. The next one, I have the EQ. For the first EQ, I set it to left and right, so I can spread the frequencies. We can hear the sounds a little bit wide. So I have another EQ, and I add the saturation on specific parts. I think on this part, and I add the reverb. Also, I add the low pass filter, and this is just to tame down the high frequencies a little bit. And the next thing is I have the 550A API EQ, also for tone down the high frequency. But we can change this to use the live default EQ. It wouldn't be a problem, so it's all up to you. You can just bypass this and replace it with your Ableton Live EQ. And the last one, I have my own preset for stereo spread. This will equally spread the left and right channel using a simple delay. Basically, the keys are playing the same notes, but only on the outro, which we use in the intro. Yeah. Can you hear the noise and the pedal noise as well? That's the sound created from the upright piano from Contact. This sounds very awesome. You can just simply bounce it to a new track, or you can export the region and you put this part into the intro and reversed. Okay. And this is one trick also. If you bounce into an audio file, you can see that you still have a lot of headrooms on the audio signal, on the audio waveform. So you still can boost the gain, the volume, or maybe you want to add more compression. You still can do it. So it's a good thing that you can layer it with the bounce, so the sound is get more heavier and get more noticeable in the mix. The next part I have okay, let's just talk about the drums. I use additive drums too from Excellent Audio. I got this VST from Novation. I bought the launchpad and they gave me this free VST. But you can only use the 2 packs. Now, previously I used the Easy Drummer for my remakes, especially when I'm still doing the Logic and FL Studio. 5 years ago, I used Easy Drummers a lot. Now I use additive drums because I've seen a couple of my friends, music producers and mixing engineers, they double the drums, the live drums, with this additive drums VST instruments. Just sounds cool. You can tweak each of the drum parts individually. See, if you want to change the cymbals, you can just switch which one you like. You can mute, you can bypass, or you want to go specific, you can switch to the buttons on the mixer, and you'll see all the effects and the parameters that available for the specific kit. Okay, you have the compression, you have the EQ. Basically everything was in here. You don't have to do anything else. This is snare, head, toms. The flexi is simply just a sampler and drum machine. This. And we have the overhead, the room, and the bus. Okay. And these additive drums, as well as easy drummers and contact, are the multi-out VSTs. So they have multiple outputs that you can send directly out from the VST to your DAW. So this is what I always do with my easy drummer and additive drums. I want to send this kick to a new track in my Ableton track. I just simply set the output post fader in here. For all of this track, what I want to send to the Ableton Live track. Okay, by doing this, you will get individual kit right in this track. You just simply create a new track and set the input as additive drums or whatever track you name. Switch to additive drums, and then automatically it will detect what outputs the additive drums have, like this. Okay, in my example I used the first track as a kick, so I just select the kick, and the second one I have snare, so I select snare, and so on. And after that, you can also send the overhead, the room, and the bus as well, like this. This is the bus. Actually, the bus is already contain all this kit sent to here. Yeah, but I still want bus to be routed out to my Ableton Live. So I still need to be sent out, and I again send everything from the additive drums to another drum bus in here. Means that I send the output directly to another track in the session. Maybe we hear how it sounds like. That's the sound of additive drum. And then I feel like it's not enough. The sound is not enough. Not match with the original. So I layer it again with another drum double. This is from Live Instrument Rack, Drum Rack. And I just put in samples in here. So basically these are the packs from Kashmir, I think. It's only one. Yeah, this is the packs from an acoustic drum samples. So just simply put it here, and I layer it with the additive drums. It sounds more tight there. And again, I analyzed the original, and it looks like they're still using the kick samples from their EDM style, and we can hear the snares and claps with high reverbs in the background. This is what it sounds like. Basically, it's just one kick sample. And I have a group of snare. Just contain 2 snares and 1 clap. The clap's got send full 100% to the reverb send. Yeah, I have crash, couple of bells, just playing together with the snare. Yeah, just sampled from Kashmir. The next one, I have the keys, like I showed you earlier. I have the keys and I have the bass group. The bass group are from Massive and Silent. Like always, I use Silent for my sub, and we have Massive as well. This is just a basic sub. You can use sine wave, just one oscillator and one voice. You can lower it with -1 or -2 octave, and then you're done. You can get a low sub for this. Yeah, basically it's very simple. A pure sine wave. Okay, and the 2 Massive are playing with the sort of low pads lah. Sort of low pads. Okay, and the next thing I have is strings. Like usually, I have strings from Nexus and Ableton Live Packs, the violin section, and I have chorus from Contact Library. Sounds like this. That's the strings group. And the next one I have the pad. From Massive. And yeah, I made it myself. This is just the ambient pad. I'm playing low key with the reverb. And I have the synth fill, which is the leads playing in the background. This is actually, yeah, I think this one is quite a bit close to the original. I made it myself, start from scratch. And we have snaps, another synth fill. To create the sound, the gliding sound, I set it to mono legato here, and I said the portamento is quite a bit high. If you're playing a single note and you add another note in the same part, it will create a glide sound. So that's why I use the mono legato and then just put another lower key right in the same part. So the next fill are playing exactly the same sound but with the different notes. Yeah, that's the fill from silence. And the last four is just an effects and the final sounds, the crackle and scratches sound. I layer it with the pianos. Yeah, this is just a crackle sound. You can see here that the gain are minus 60, but you still can hear the sound on the mix. See, it's very low, and yes, I'm mixing all these elements in very low gain and volume. I still have a lot of rooms to do the mastering or the mixing. That's why on the master track I can play around with my compression and the limiter. So I have a couple of EQs, the compression. There's a lot of EQs in this one. The first EQ are the mid and side. For start, I set the lows, most of the low frequency on the center, and I kill the low frequency for the sides. And I have the glue compression for the master bus, and I have another mid and side EQ. I turn on the auto filter for the first part, and then I have the multi-band compression, and the last EQ are doing the left and right to spread the sounds, and I have the OTT on the last one. And finally, I have the waves L2 for the limiter. I'm trying to use live built-in effects for this track. So you can see all of them are actually the live built-in effects, except for this OTT L2 and the API 550A. Those three. And this Valhalla room reverb. So maybe let's just hear all together. I think that would be all from me, and I'm glad to share this project with you guys. I will provide the download links on the video description below, and if you want to download just the instrumental, we'll give you the link as well. or you can just watch my previous videos for the instrumental version. So again, yeah, this project will be available on the store, so you can check it out along with the other project that I share there. Thank you so much for staying with me, and yeah, appreciate for the new subscribers. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.